Hi, my name is Bell-Jenkins, and I am the CEO of Real Women Reveal. Today's topic is, do women know what they want in their relationship from their man? The reason for this subject is because I've been hearing all over social media, the blog sites, and from a famous TV and radio personality that women do not know what they want. They would know a good man if he fell in their lap. When I heard that, I thought that was so odd because I've always known what I wanted in my relationship and from my man. Things may have changed when I was older, from when I was younger, as I've matured, but I've always known what I wanted. So I've gathered a few ladies here today, and we're going to tell you exactly what we want in our relationship from my man. Check us out on Twitter, on Facebook, on the blogs, and tell us what you think. All right, hey ladies, glad to have you here today. So we're going to be talking about what do women want in their relationships with their men. Do you guys all know what you all want? Are you sure about what you want?
Absolutely.
Just need to be clear about that. That everybody know exactly what they want, because that's the issue here, that you guys don't know. We don't know what we want.
Okay.
So I got a question. I want you to name 3 things that are must-haves that you need in the relationship with your man, and just briefly explain each one. So we'll start with you, Erica.
Oh, great. 3 things that are must-haves.
3 must-haves.
He has to have a job. He has to have stability. And he has to love God and his mother. And why? A job because getting older. I cannot carry the weight. When I was back in college, it may be something different, but now that I'm stable in my career, I need someone that's on the same track. Loving God, because I'm a woman of faith, and loving his mother because the way he treats her is the way he's going to treat me and our kids.
Okay. All right, we'll just go around.
Okay. Well,
must-haves.
I definitely agree that probably every woman wants to have a man with a job, or at least, be on an equal playing field as you are. So that's definitely there. Also, I think a man has to have confidence if he wants to be with me, because I don't want to have any kind of lack of trust issues going on, if he's not confident, or jealousy or controlling behaviors. And finally, I feel it's important that we have similar interests or direction in life, at least at that point in time, because although people will grow and change, if your life path is taking you here and my life path is taking me here, that just hasn't worked for me in the past. So at least some kind of common goals. Yeah.
Okay. Alicia?
I agree with what both of you ladies have said. I also think that he must have a good heart, because that's very, very important to me. He must have some level of ambition, and he must also be confident with him. So, and the reason why I say that is because I'm very, very ambitious, and I am the type of person that goes and does things, and so you have to be confident with yourself in order to be able to handle me.
Okay, ladies. Glad to hear all of your must-haves. When do you think it's important to share these must-haves with the gentleman?
I think that observing and listening is the best. And I totally concur with these ladies. That's something that I do when I am initially talking to someone. I'm going to listen, I'm going to observe. And through the conversation, I'll know whether or not this person and I are a match. I'll know whether or not they believe in God. I'll know if they're visionary, and I'll know if they're loving. And if they're not, then they are eliminated, as far as being a potential mate.
Right.
Maybe a friend, but not a potential mate.
Go to the other side.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that too. I don't necessarily know if it's the first date or whatever, but I do think it's early on. What about you, Makia?
By me being in my other 40s,
Oh.
I
that feel? That feels good.
Oh, it feels awesome. Yes. I'm at that point that I just started, my business, and I'm extremely busy, and I'd rather conversate over the telephone before I even get to that first date. So I think things, that telephone relationship.
That's old school. That's another 40 right there.
That's another 40. I'm gonna take because I have time
to
do this, and to listen to what the conversation is each time you speak. And I think that it will reveal a lot if you, like Rosalind said, you just sit back and you listen to what they have to say. What the conversation is. What's important to them. Those things. All of those questions will be answered before you even say, let's go ahead. Go out on that date, So I think that eliminates a lot.
So you get all of it on the telephone.
Okay. No pressure.
Especially now, there's so many different mediums of meeting people, and there's a lot of online dating. And online dating, I think it has its advantages and disadvantages. And one advantage online dating is that you get a chance to talk to those people before going out.
So, back to the must-haves. Do you ever feel there's a reason to disregard your must-haves or put them on the back burner?
I really don't know. It would depend on the person, because sometimes you're attracted to a person before you even know, your must-haves. So I would say maybe. But the one for, putting God first, no.
Okay.
That's for sure.
That's something you can't.
So, in saying that maybe, would that lead to some of these personalities or men to say that we don't know what we want because it's a maybe?
Not necessarily, because you're saying, is that something that you can surprise? If you meet someone and there's a chemistry there, some of those things may not be as important. You know what I mean? The one quality that is important that I can't waver from is his belief. I can't.
Okay.
Being ambitious, I may enhance him where he becomes ambitious. You see what I mean?
Feel you.
So it just depends on, what chemistry is there at first. Your must-haves, they're not always, concrete. And that doesn't mean that I don't know what I want in a man, because I know I want you to be God-fearing. I know that. I know I want and must have you to treat me the way that I deserve to be treated.
Right.
That doesn't waver.
Right. And I think our must-haves, like we were talking about earlier, they kind of change sometime as we, I'm sure in our 20s.
Oh, yeah.
They were different. They were different from 30 to 40.
Oh, yes.
But at that time period, we knew what we wanted at that time, but they changed. So I get that. What about you, Erica? Is there a reason to disregard them or put them on the back burner? Maybe, and I guess that's on the back burner. Put it on the back burner.
I could definitely say back burner. I mean, my must-haves, because I'm almost 40, are my must-haves. Those are my top 3 priority, needs to be in a relationship. But because we know our economy had a little downfall.
Exactly.
Jobs were scarce for a minute. That might have been something on the back burner. But like these ladies said when they talked about ambition and having to drive, so if you do lose your job, there's something that's in the works or in the midst that you're always constantly thinking about or working on. So that might be one thing that I would waver on. But as far as family first and God, I don't think that's something I can be on the back burner, because it's not something that they can just start doing, the next day after we start dating.
Interesting. Have you ever dated someone, Cindy, that didn't have your must-haves?
Oh yeah, and that's why that relationship didn't work out. Like, when I was younger, just like you said, I mean, I just, if I had chemistry with somebody or if I thought they were hot or whatever, I wanted to be with that person no matter what, and ended up being mistreated and ended up being in, negative relationships. So yeah, that's, I think, why it is important to have those must-haves and not, compromise them, unless of course, like, the person has everything and maybe you need to help them through a rough spot with. Because I've been in that place too. So.
What about you, Roz? Have you ever dated someone that didn't have your must-haves?
I have, and when I compromised, I ended up losing in the end and feeling neglected because he wasn't loving. So those things for me are non-negotiable at this season in my life. Now, if I was 80, of course, I would want him to definitely have God in his life. But as far as being a visionary, no, at that age, I probably want companionship. You know, I wouldn't mind some, you know, of course, someone loving, someone to sit there and rub my leg or rocking the rocking chair, you know, but he doesn't have to be a visionary at 80. But at this stage in my life, this season, yeah, that's he has to possess all those three qualities. That's important to me, and those are non-negotiable.
That was good. Thank you, ladies. Thank you so
you.
much.
Thank you.
So we're ready for all our bloggers and Facebookers to hit us up and let us know what you think. Yeah, tweet us and share some of those stories. See if we're way off, and we really want to hear from men. Because we want to know. We want to know, do they know what they want? It's always do we and what we want. So we want to know. I think we kind of put it down here to let everybody know that we know what we want. So stay tuned for the next segment, and sisterhood always. Thanks so much.